Hey, my friends, guess what? It's Friday, which means it's another day to build wins together. I'm Randy, your host of Building Wins Live, and we got Wes back there running controls in the infamous Roar Room. And today, actually, he's only probably about, 50, 60 miles from me. So we could have almost went to the War Room and done this if we'd have been thinking. But as you probably have noticed, anybody that watched a little social media stuff that Wes and I do, we hung out last night and had a Dr. Pepper or two and a piece of burger or something. But anyway, today I am in beautiful Kenton, Ohio. Just got done with an outstanding open house at my friend Stillwater Metals. And now we're going to do a little live chat with my friend Sam here, sitting to my, what's that way right there, in just a minute. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, Sam, my friend. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good.
Man, it's good. Good. Thanks for taking the time. I know it's been a busy day.
Yep.
We ate barbecue and
pie, cookies.
Hey, just for the record, I had no pie, right?
Yeah.
Lie for me.
Yeah.
You want a discount? I had no pie. Anyway, Kirsten, you're here, and I got your name right today. Kirsten always battles to be the number one first person on. And usually she makes it. So anyways, like I said, we're here in Kenton, Ohio with Sam at Stillwater Metals. And these guys are metal bending geniuses, as I call them, here in the, I guess we'd call this technically Northwest Ohio, right? Sort of, kind of, Northwestish.
Yep.
So anyway, we got done with his customer appreciation day today. And so we're going to just do a little chat and build some wins together for the next 20 minutes or so. So Sam, open house, good? Good turnout?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. We had a good turnout, lots of people, lots of good food, good conversation. Yeah, I'm really happy with
good. Awesome.
The way it went.
Awesome. So, I think it's a contribute. What do I want to say? It shows the love of what you guys do here, the amount of turnout that you get, because a lot of people would love to go have food and go have, but in today's world, maybe coming and grabbing food and going out of your way on a busy day, whatever, I'll skip it. A lot of people come, a lot of your contractors come, so that shows that you're well respected in the community.
Try to be. That's a goal,
Yep.
But no, I thought we had a really good turnout. I was happy with it. Just getting people in the door, just having a good time, getting to talk to current customers, possible future customers. But no, I was really happy with it.
That's awesome. So we're about 2 weeks, about almost 2 weeks away from the end of the first quarter already. Can you believe it?
Not hardly. It's went pretty quick, but I'm ready for summer though.
Yeah.
Ready for summer.
It is something weird going on outside here as I look out the windows of Sam's office, and it's white stuff coming down.
A little different than the Florida.
It is, and I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it. But
take your tan away real quick.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. I'll have to go catch up this weekend. So,
Yep.
So anyway, how's biz? I mean, we're into basically almost the end of the first quarter. What are you seeing? What's going on?
It's been pretty good so far. Of course, this year we had a little more of a slowdown than we did last year, which last year was just crazy. But it's been slower, but with the nicer weather that we've been having, you can tell things are getting ready to take off.
Mm-hmm.
It's been picking up a lot. I think we're going to have a good summer. It seems like there's a lot of work out there. Our contractors are really busy. So I think we're set for another good year. Hopefully supply stuff stays good.
Yeah. The steel world seems to be kicking its heels a little bit again, right?
Yeah, we thought it was getting better. It was getting a lot better, but it seems like it's taking a turn to worse again. I don't know how bad that's going to get, but hopefully not too bad. Yeah.
It's more price than it is supply, or do you see both?
Supply seems to be good, but it's more price right now. And you don't really know you can't predict that, but yes, it seems like price is going to be a factor again.
So correct me if I'm wrong, I think we had a little drop, right, for a while.
Yes. So
has it made the drop back up yet, or to where we were?
No. So the prices we're just starting to see some increases, and it's not across not all suppliers yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the mills are starting to enforce increases again. So we haven't seen a lot like on our end yet, but it's getting there. And it sounds like there's going to be multiple increases
again.
Sounds of it.
Yeah. And you kind of foreseeing that through the whole summer? I mean, is this short term or long term?
So we're not really sure yet. And I haven't been able to get a real good feel for it yet, but I think it's going to for a little while. And another thing that's affecting that is a lot of people are putting fuel surcharges and stuff like that. So I think that's going to play a big part in it. And it's just going to depend on the demand probably. Right.
Well, and it seems like what you said, and with, as most know, the bulk of my business is customers like yourselves, right? I have some, other types of customers, but the metal roll former like yourselves is really my target customer. And everybody's telling me the same thing. They're booked and they're booking out. They're contractors. They're booking out.
So yes, there's a lot of work on the books. So I think it's going to carry throughout the summer either way. The pricing definitely affects that. But the plus side is a lot of contractors were still pricing high from previous pricing. So some of that's going to roll through. I mean, it's still going to affect everything if things go back up again.
Right.
But I think there's enough work out there. People still seem to be spending the money to do projects. So,
well, that's the interesting thing, right? Is it appears to me that, it'd be nice if there was an end and some normalcy again, because we had this last couple of years of the whole COVID craziness, right? And in our industry, not only weathered that storm, it was actually pretty good. I mean, darn good, right?
Yeah, it hasn't really slowed us down any. I mean, the first month or so it slowed us down, but after that, things just got crazy. People were doing a lot of remodeling, building new. I mean, that part of the market just kind of really took off.
So with what's going on now in the world and in the U.S. with pricing in general and fuel prices and just prices in general, do you see that any effect on your business yet? Do you think it will? What's any concern that at some point people start having enough of all this? And
well, that's always in the back of your mind, and I mean, it's always something that you think of is that it could affect that. But for right now, I mean, the thing you got to look at is how far your contractors are booked out. So I think it'll kind of carry us through. We might see a little bit of a decrease in that, but it's still, the demand is up so far right now that I don't think it's going to really necessarily affect us too much yet.
Yeah.
Or we hope not.
Right. Well, and I think one thing that's happened, and I'm speaking maybe more for myself, but the one thing that we found out over this whole COVID thing, right, is we became more adaptable and accepting of some things just are what they are than maybe we ever had been.
Yep.
And so I wonder, I hope, maybe more than wonder, or wonder and hope, I hopelessly wonder. That's how's that? That's good. That people are going to go, okay, yeah, it kind of sucks. Gas prices are up, and my bologna costs more, and it costs more for I say cigars because I'm looking at a couple setting over here that I need to get off the show so we can go have. But the hope is we don't hit a tipping point, right? And we don't know if there is or could be or where that is.
Hopefully you don't. Now, the big thing about the construction industry is it seems like there's real busy times and then there's slower times. It never dies, but at the same point, there's strong times and there's not so strong times. But from what we've seen in the past, and we hope it continues to carry on, but from what we've seen in the past year, it's very hard to predict that. But we still have to continue to keep inventories and stuff, plan for a busy summer, because I mean, we might see them shortages again. I don't know, that's what you don't know. So it makes it a little bit harder to plan for some of that.
Oh, sure.
So try to keep that up a little bit, but I think for the most part, I think we're still going to carry strong through the summer.
Yeah. I would say so. And, I'm just thinking as we're talking, and a lot of this is just speculation, but for a lot of the folks that watch this are in the metal world or in the roofing business, the fact that if gas prices, for example, which everybody wants to talk, I mean, it's a big factor, right? Is that, well, hey, there's Wes. How you doing, bro? Hey, welcome. What's up? See, I think he just wanted, I bought Wes dinner last night, him and his lovely family. And I think he just wanted to prove that he was actually working and not sleeping during this. So yeah, that was well done, Wes. Well done. He's still awake. But I don't know about you, but I got a glare off his head. Did you?
Slightly.
Yeah. Okay.
Slightly.
Anyway, you wonder too is usually we have, and it's always been my take in 4+ decades of doing this crazy business, that there's a little summer lull sometimes, vacations and travel and all that. If that got muted just a little bit because of travel costs, would that make people go, we're not going to go spend the $4,000 on this trip because it's just so expensive. Maybe we'll just go ahead and put a new roof on or something.
See, and I think that's what happened in the past 2 years with not very many people traveling due to COVID stuff. I think they spend more money on their homes and that type of stuff. And you wonder at what point, do people have all their work done? But there's always something. It seems like people building new, people remodeling, putting a new roof on. But yeah, I think that's definitely something that people do when they don't tend to travel. They tend to put more money into their homes. Exactly.
So bottom line is it's probably, if you want to do a project, you probably might as well just do the project.
Well, and that's what I'm hearing a lot, and a lot of people, and that's where about everybody's at, because we don't know what it's going to do in the future. It could get a lot worse. We all thought that it was bad a year ago,
right?
And it couldn't get any worse, but it's definitely gotten worse. So you don't know what it's going to do throughout the summer, and usually during the summer with high demands, it does tend to get worse.
Right. Well, exactly. And talk to me a little bit maybe about folks looking to maybe hire a contractor, have a roof put on. That's another concern, right? Is these guys are getting booked out quite a ways. I mean, you don't want to be waiting until the proverbial, we always know in this industry, right? There's that magical time frame, which is November, December-ish, when all of a sudden it's going to start snowing again. Oh, geez, we better put a roof on. Y'all better not be waiting out near that long now, or you're not going to get a contractor, right?
A lot of your contractors have booked up at least a minimum of a couple months typically. So if you do want to do something, it's better to get on somebody's list at least, or start checking around. You can get some pricing if you want to get pricing from multiple people. At least get on somebody's schedule so that you the problem is most people wait until it's time to have it done, and then they end up getting somebody that's maybe not as qualified for the project,
right? And
they end up having problems that way,
right?
So yeah, it's definitely, if you're thinking of doing something, it's always a good time to think ahead a little bit on that, because a lot of contractors are very busy,
right? So what's going on with all the pricing and so forth? Are contractors, they're not able to hold prices like they used to, right? How long out are they holding prices? I mean,
so it depends on every contractor's doing it a little bit differently, just because of the pricing stuff, and a lot of guys, got hit with that when it initially went up. So I think some of them are maybe pricing it a little bit higher and giving them a little bit of room until they got the job done, and then adjusting to it. And then other people are kind of given pricing, but nothing set in stone until they get to that project.
Okay.
And then they reprice it before they actually start the project to give the guy the option to do that.
Yeah, because I've heard a couple guys that I know that some of their contractors, I think of what you just said, is they're actually saying, look, I'll get you on the books. I'll take a deposit, hold your spot, but we're going to have to price this thing.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, I guess you can back out if you want, but I'm not going to give you, if I'm not going to do it till September, I can't give you a price I can hold right now, right?
Yeah, and I think majority, especially the contractors that are doing contracts and all that, which a lot of them do, but there's still a lot of them out there that don't necessarily do the contracts. But the ones that have clauses in them, on material, based on material pricing when they get to that.
Gotcha.
Because there's really no way of holding that pricing,
right?
Unless they buy the material and have it sitting.
Right. Yeah, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
So awesome.
But yeah, it makes it a lot harder, and then especially the way everything's moving all the time, makes it really hard to plan for the people, having the work done, plus for the contractor.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of extra work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a lot of moving parts now with the not only sometimes it's pricing is one thing, labor shortages, the freight issues, supply chain period. There's obviously in our industry there's products that literally are short supply, and
yeah, there's a lot of that, and it's weird because about the time one thing gets better, it's something else, and sometimes it's the weirdest stuff, stuff you wouldn't expect it to be, but it's definitely been a battle. It seems like once you win one, and there's always another one falls into it.
So you don't get to settle into any normalcy like maybe in the past.
No. It does. It does kind of show us how nice we had it in the previous years, because I mean, for the longest period of time, say for screws like that you sell us, I mean, how many years did they go without a price change?
Oh yeah, well, a long time.
Yeah.
Long time. Yeah. And like with some of those things, I have some of the manufacturers that I work with. We've got product that we're out to. I mean, we're talking months and months and months that we're already planning ahead. Because if you don't secure that product, especially products coming from offshore, if you don't have it in the pipeline for September right now, you're never going to have it in September. And that's the other challenge is how do you forecast? And then customers like yourselves, demands change, and we can't. Not that we could ever change on a dime, but we can't change on a dollar bill now. It's just it doesn't happen that quickly.
Yeah, but it's very hard, and it requires a lot of time. Like I feel like the last 2 years, majority of what I've done is check costs on things, make sure I'm where I need to be on everything, and everything just continues to change constantly. So you have to stay on top of it. It's definitely a struggle.
Yeah, it is a challenge, but it's our challenge.
Yeah,
that's what we do,
and it's what we do every day. And I wouldn't do anything else. I enjoy it.
Yeah, you obviously love what you do and do what you love. That's one of my sayings that I love because if you do what you love and love what you do, then it's challenging as it is. It's still fun, right?
Yes. Well, you learn something new every day, and it's been hard to try and forecast what might happen, but it's kind of challenging at the same time. And I've enjoyed it. I mean, you got to be careful, but at the same point in time, it's been different.
Yeah,
definitely.
So you're obviously spending a much larger percentage of your workday, if you will, with inventory and buying product and figuring out what's available. What's my pricing?
Yes.
Probably is that up 50% over what it used to be? Or are you spending more than that? I would say
it probably is.
Yeah.
It's probably about 50%.
Yeah.
And then not just that, you try to maintain a higher inventory, just so you got to have a little more buffer there. Like I used to be able to order screws and have them next day.
Right.
That's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Just not only from your side, but also shipping. I mean, the shipping that used to take 1 day now takes 2-3 days.
Right.
If that's if UPS or the mail doesn't lose it.
Yeah, exactly.
Process.
Well, exactly, because it's not just what you're dealing with, but everybody down the supply chain. If we take longer to get it to you, but we're taking longer to get it to you because some of our raw material suppliers are taking longer to get it to us. All that extrapolates out to Sam doesn't have what he needs. Right.
Yeah, and it makes you have to plan ahead a little bit further, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But the problem was we were so used to having it convenient to where we didn't really have to do that work.
Right.
So I think it does separate some of that a little bit more. And once you get used to the planning ahead a little bit more, it's not that bad.
It's not. It becomes, as I mentioned earlier, I think once you become, and you talk about it, we talk about it, and I know you read a lot of things and are into inspirational, motivational stuff, but there's a lot of talk sometimes about being comfortably uncomfortable, right? Yes. In all aspects of what you do. And I think we've all been pushed to learn to operate a little more uncomfortable, or become comfortable with being uncomfortable. It just is what it is. And you adapt and
but in the long run, it does make us a lot better at what we do in that sense.
Right.
Because it requires a lot more planning and that type of stuff.
So the bottom line is let's be optimistic. When we pull out of this craziness at some point, which we will, in all likelihood,
Yep.
we'll all be better.
Yeah.
And so when things settle, excuse me, back to some normalcy, we'll just be way better at everything we do.
Yes.
And that's a plus, right? So,
Definitely.
well, so two things, Sam, because I told you we'd keep this short today because we are remote and there's maybe some pie still left to eat out there. And you've got a lot of stuff to wrap up from your open house today. So, and we also have something really important. Anyway, Sam, thank you. Any last words you want to impart of the wisdom of Sam Hostetler around the world?
I'm not sure about all the wisdom part, but
well, that's true. That was a setup. I mean, we don't know. Okay, anything at all?
Try to be better today than you were yesterday.
That's it. Keep doing it.
Yep.
We keep doing what we love, right?
Yep.
Because I know you
have fun.
And see, this is the guy right here, my friends, that you hear me say it. I'm going to say it again. I did it like 3 minutes ago, but one of my favorite statements is love what you do what you love. And this is a living example. Sam and I have known each other. How long have we known each other now?
It was probably late 2007,
Okay.
2008, because I think we started to shop in 2008 at some point. So it was probably 2007.
Yeah. So it's
I know
been,
it was cold.
It was
so
cold.
during the winter.
And we was outside.
We were setting posts.
And you're setting posts that were leaning in every direction because you hadn't done them yet. And
you thought we didn't know what we were doing.
I thought you guys are a bunch of knuckleheads. No, I didn't. But the other thing
really did.
I did, Bill. But I also remember the fact that, and this is still reflective in your price. I'm just telling you, I'll get over it someday. But you didn't invite me inside and it was cold out.
There really was no roof, Randy. So I guess we did have other
We could have
roofs.
stood inside the pool and I could have pretended it have felt warmer, right? But anyway, that's one of the beauties of this industry, folks. And one of the things, talk about being engaged and engaging in the industry. And that's one of the beautiful things is doing what I do. I get to go know guys like Sam and his family and his dad and brothers. And that's just one of the beautiful things about probably any industry if you're engaged, but our industry especially, it becomes true friendships develop and relationships. And that all of a sudden just makes it all fun, right?
But yeah, that's what makes it fun. And you got to enjoy what you do.
Yep, you do.
And have fun with it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we'll back out of here so that you can go get done, and I'll go look at the pie and pretend I'm not going to have any because Wes let out of the bag that we might have had some pecan pie last night, which he said it wrong, by the way. He called it pecan pie. I know you did, Wes. I know you watched it. It's pecan, but anyway, that's fine. So, go ahead.
Pretty sure I seen ice cream on that too.
There was a little, but you know why? Because you remember? Did you see the video me and Wes did?
Because they could.
Because they could. If it could. Could I have? Do you have? Does that come with ice cream? It could. I mean, Wes said immediately we got to do a little post about that because is that right or not?
Yes.
Can I have this particular panel? Can you do this? You could. Let's see what we can do.
Yep.
Right.
When you say no, that's a definite.
Yes.
But when you say I could possibly or even possibly,
impossible. Well, I always like to use the, switching the words around is so many times we think immediately, I can't. Well, how about you do the little, why can't I? Why can't I?
Yep.
Not for sure maybe yet, but why can't I? Let me see if we can't do that. Let's try to do that for you, Sam, right?
Yep.
And that goes a long ways. Even if you come back eventually and say, you know what, I've burned every bridge and sunk every boat. And it's not happening. At least you know.
You tried.
You tried, and that's all you asked for, right? So remember, why can't I? That's the word of the day. So next week, this is going to be 2 weeks in a row of a repeat. So either we don't get it right the first time, or I just got guys that like to come back. But next week, somebody that's becomes somebody that I just consider a friend and somebody I follow very closely, and just an all-around absolute legend is going to be back next week. Ben Gay III. There he is. Ben, if you don't know Ben Gay, then you're messing up. You better go follow his books. Ben Gay is a living legend, and he's going to come back next week graciously to chat some more about his vision on the world and vision on selling and just vision on everything. And I talk a lot when I talk to some people, but the legend is one of those people who I need to just basically introduce him and let him talk for an hour because you could talk for 17 hours with Ben and never get tired of hearing what you hear. It's good stuff. Be there next week. So until then, remember, as I said earlier, love what you do what you love, live it, love it, own it, because you only get one day, and make today your best day ever. Until tomorrow. Cheers, my friends. Sam, thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.